Alright guys, in studios I've got two amazing, young, talented individuals with me. I've got Shane Chandaria as well as Aahyl Shah. Tell us, how old are the two of you?
I'm 15.
I'm 18.
Welcome to the studio, boys. Alright Shane, your motorsport journey literally starts at a birthday party, karting at the age of 6, and then you owned your own kart by the age of 8. When did you realize that this wasn't just fun anymore, but something you wanted to chase seriously?
So it all started back in 2023 when I moved from Kenya to UK to race because the competition in Kenya was not really big enough. So when we went to the UK, from there it started like the British Championships, and I did something called the FIA Karting Academy Trophy, which is 50 countries choose their driver to race around Europe.
Yeah.
So basically in all those experiences, just had to learn a lot about racing. You know, I started from the bottom there and had to make my way to the top again. So in those races and in that like time period of like a year and 2 years basically, I had to learn a lot, and then basically in March of this year I applied for the Indian Formula 4, and from then it's just been prepping and training for it. To be honest, from the moment I stepped into a go-kart when I was 6 for the birthday party, I knew this is what I wanted to do because it was just so fun. And you know, every Sunday I'd wake my dad up and try and get him to take me to GP karting, and then, you know, by the time I turned 8, in my head I already knew that I'm gonna go down and become a professional racing driver, even if my mom and dad had other plans for me at the time.
What were the other plans they had in mind for you?
I don't know, I guess I'm not really sure. I think they might have just wanted me to go down the regular route.
But you know what? The regular route has its pros and cons. But going the route you're going down, you've probably achieved so much already. You've gone from Rookie of the Year in Kenya to becoming the youngest FIA Indian F4 champion and the first Kenyan to win an F4 title. First of all, congratulations. What was the toughest mental moment on that road?
Definitely it's not one singular moment that's been tough. It's all those hours that, like, I'm homeschooled, so all those hours at home just doing work on my own, and then putting those hours on the simulator or training in the gym. It's all alone. You're not with anyone, so it's all those hours that you put in just behind that's really mentally tough. But you need to be able to push through it. And I mean, this year I actually just came back from India, and winning the championship has just shown me that, like, it's all worth it, and it's really just you have to do all of that to be able to win. So
that's such a young age. You've achieved so much already. It must be difficult having that balance between homeschool and your, you know, social life and your goals and aspirations as well. How does this balance come into play? Like, how do you balance your life?
For me, number one priority is always racing, so I try and make sure I've planned that all the training I want to get done in the day is taking first priority. And then second, obviously, is school. I need to be getting in my couple of hours a day just to keep on track. And then after that, I normally still have some time to spend with friends, or you know, like maybe watch an episode of my favorite TV show or something, just to sit back and chill for a bit.
The FIA Indian F4 season had everything. You had poles, fastest laps, DNFs, pressure, and comebacks. What did that championship teach you about yourself that karting never did?
It showed me truly how much I wanted to win, because there were big setbacks in the championship, but it was just all about learning from the mistakes and just pushing forward. And each time I had a bad race or something, I always felt like the month after that I'd work even harder to make the next weekend much better. And I saw it was like an upwards trend this year, that each race I came back stronger and stronger, which allowed me to win the championship, which is what I'm really proud about, and it's something that I'm really looking to take forward with me in my career. The season started in August, and from then I've just been trying to collect as many podiums and wins and points basically as possible, and I'm really happy that in the end I just managed to come away with the title. It makes me the Indian F4 2025 champion. We're going to do another season in Formula 4 in France. But basically when you win a FIA Formula 4 title, you get something called, you get 10 super license points. So super license points are basically the things that you have to collect to be allowed to drive in Formula 1. You need 40 of them to be allowed to race in F1.
Nice. So how many are you at right now?
I'm at 10 currently. It's winning the championships just opened doors for me to race in France, as I said. So it was a really big moment in my career.
Alright, Aahyl, motorsport looks glamorous on race day, right? But the grind is definitely real. What's one sacrifice you've made for racing that most people your age might not realize?
The biggest sacrifice, of course, would be a social life. I don't really have the time to have a social life. Of course, a lot of 18-year-olds can go out, party, drink and have fun, but I don't have the leeway to do that. Early mornings, training, studying, working, a lot of workouts, and then of course I have to get my rest in. And then of course I cannot be doing such things as a high performance athlete, so my social life had to go out the window. It's a bigger high than going out or doing anything. The high of just driving such a vehicle, it makes you feel like you're on top of the world every corner, every time you accelerate or anything. My parents actually are quite chill with it. They do have their own fears every time I go out, but they enjoy it as well. As my mom usually explains, she says she finds her own high just watching me drive.
As a young Kenyan driver trying to break into international motorsport, what's been harder, finding the right opportunities or convincing yourself that you belong on those grids?
Finding the right opportunities has been really, really hard, especially being in Kenya. There's not many people scouting or looking for people from Kenya. So we've had to really push ourselves into the limelight instead of being caught in it.
Just before the lights go out, your helmet goes on, the engine is revving. What is going through your mind at that exact moment?
Well, usually in the F4 car is try not to stall. But not really much going on, just focus, relaxing myself, taking a few deep breaths, and telling myself maybe for this session I want to improve on this thing. Maybe if I'm in a karting race, I say I'm starting here. If this happens, let me do this, let me do that. Just mentally preparing myself for what can happen. When I was about 6, my mom took me karting in Mombasa. Then when I came back, I'd keep on telling my dad, we have to go, we have to go, we have to go. So every weekend, from about 7, I'd go karting. In fact, one time I broke my arm.
Oh no.
My mom said no. And then after that, once it healed, I would go back in secret. And then about 14 is when I got my own kart and started racing professionally.
What are your aspirations when it comes to motorsport?
My aspirations are quite simple: to make it to Formula 1. Of course, the journey to get there is going to be very, very hard. 2026 we're going to be driving in the Indian FIA F4 Championship and hoping to be winning that, and the year after moving to Formula 3. Won a national award, the Vic Preston Junior Karting Award for progression, that I had won for the 2024 season, but the MEA awards was this year. And a lot of other podiums, fastest laps, and a lot of just things like that across my karting career. It's a bit bumpy, rough, but I think it's going well so far. Shift of energies actually really helps a lot. And with everything we're doing and all the hard work and hours we're putting in, I think everything is going quite well.
Look, you're both part of a very small group of young Kenyans competing on the global motorsport stage, right? Does carrying the Kenyan flag add pressure or does it push you harder?
Carrying the Kenyan flag for me, it pushes me harder to get my goals, because there's not been anyone or there've not been many people in motorsport internationally for formula racing. So to be able to carry that flag and to be the first Kenyan to win an FIA F4 championship, it's just really motivating, and it also it allows me to show the rest of Kenya that it's possible. If you work towards it, it's possible to get there.
Nice. Aahyl, what about yourself?
It definitely pushes me harder, gives me hope, and gives me something to bring back for other people to have hope in.
Yeah.
What Shane said, that people know that they have the ability, and if they try hard enough, they can do whatever they dream about.
You know, I'm one of those people who always thought that racing was just about driving a car around and speed and all of this stuff. But a lot of people do think a lot like me. But it's also about fitness, data, mindset, and serious discipline. What's the one thing young drivers in Kenya underestimate the most about this sport?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. I think people underestimate probably the fitness side of it the most, because a lot of people think, what are you doing when you're driving? You're sitting in a seat and turning a steering wheel, but
Yeah.
actually it's a lot more than that. Through most corners you're going to be pulling 2 times your body weight.
Wow.
So that is quite physical in itself, but also you need to be able to have a really good cardio, because in the races, in the cars, it can get to above 45-50 degrees. When you're just sitting there waiting for the race to start, it gets really, really hot. So you need to be able to deal with those temperatures and still perform at a really high level. And then I think people also misunderstand the data behind racing and the strategy behind it, because to win a race, it's not just go out and drive fastest. It's about being able to look at the data and see where you're able to gain that extra time to your competitors.
Yeah.
And you can spend hours doing that. So
Okay. I personally did not know you needed to be like super, super fit to be a, Formula One race car driver. What about you, Aahyl? Tell me.
Many people don't see, they say that it's all about talent, but it's actually 50% talent and 50% mentality.
Okay.
You're under a lot of pressure when you go out and drive. You have other cars around you. You have the pressure to perform, the pressure behind your parents. And then, of course, you're going at 200 kilometers per hour. Maybe sometimes you're going into a corner side by side with someone. And it takes a lot of pressure. So you have to be very calm and relaxed in your mental state to be able to do such things. And of course, the fitness side of things, you have to train like a top performance athlete. It's not like you can just drive these cars.
Yeah.
Especially the F4 cars, there's no power steering. So if you've ever tried to turn the steering wheel on your car when it's off and you feel like you're trying to turn an elephant, that's basically exactly how it is for the F4 cars, because there's no power steering. So fitness is quite a big deal in this sport.
All right, 5 years from now, when people talk about Kenyan motorsport internationally, what do you want your names to stand for?
F1 world champion.
All right, nice. And yourself, Aahyl?
Same thing, F1 world champion.
F1 world champion. I might as well join this F1 world champion draw. Well, you know what? It's not easy. And I've seen, just from having conversations with the two of you, I've realized that it's not as easy as people put it out to be. Now, finally, to close things off, if you had somebody younger than you looking to explore, F4, F1, anything, motorsport in general, what would you like to give them as advice?
Give it 100% or don't give anything at all.
Nice. What about you, Al?
Put all your dedication into it, put in the long hours, get your 10,000 hours in, and just do your best.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a wrap. We have had Aahyl Shah and Shane Chandaria in studios with us right here on Radio 44 100.8 FM.